Good morning. Today is Monday. So we begin our Mondays, these last many weeks at this point, with a gentle wake up. And at the same time, we'll be setting an intention for our week. But let us start by setting an intention for our practice as kind of easing our way into that specific activity. So let's start seated. And you can sit maybe on your bottom with ankles crossed, or if you'd like to start seated on the heels, that's another option, or on a surface that will help elevate the bottom. And let's allow a nice clearing breath. So kind of just gathering up any tension that was created over the weekend, which hopefully that's not the case, but just in case. Any kind of things that kind of built up in you that is just lodged within the mind, lodged within the body, we'll call that tension. Anything like that, we're going to release with a few clearing breaths. So we'll take a slow inhalation and build that breath from the belly all the way up towards the base of the neck. And then clear out through the mouth. And if you want, even feel like the whole body's deflating and physically relax and maybe let the head go. And then we can do that again. Inhale, inflate. Build and collect any tension that's just stuck somewhere in mind, body. Clear out through the mouth. Deflating completely, relaxing, letting the head go. This feels good. Let's do it at least a couple more times. Now the final one, we're going to let the body just collapse like you are just going right to bed. So take a deep breath in and tuck yourself in. You can lie on your side, you can lie in the back, on the belly, whatever feels good. But just feel that the whole body is totally relaxed, so relaxed, you don't even have to keep the spine active. You can relax the back completely. You can relax the hips, the arms, the legs, the neck, the head. As you're here, feel like you're sinking. The whole body is just sinking down even further, sinking into the mat. And then feel like the whole body is now floating completely in the air, not being held by any ground. Come back to that sinking feeling, feeling the mat. And now come back to that sensation like you're floating. And now see if you can feel both at the same time as you're here, totally relaxed, but in your awareness, feeling sensation of sinking and floating all at the same time. And really remembering as we're here that the physical part of our yoga practice is going to give side effects that, will give the body strength and mobility, flexibility. But really what we are doing is training ourselves to learn to relax in as many ways as possible. And that's how the highest states of consciousness can be reached. So at this time, we're going to start to rise. So first time we're really waking up today. And we can start to press our way up nice and slow and just find some free movement to something that just feels right. Just, a few deep breaths of a little stretching here and there, maybe extension of an arm or a leg, maybe some side bends, just kind of feel out and notice any crackling sounds. Maybe a twist here or there. And then we'll find our way eventually to seated, where we'll bring the palms together and keep the eyes closed. And we'll focus the mind on an intention for this practice today. Now, if you have a specific intention, you can state what that is in the mind at this time. And let it be in the present tense. Let it be in a positive expression. So, something like, I am relieving tension in the upper back, or I am experiencing peace in every way possible. Or maybe today, which is what I'm going to intend for my practices, I'm experiencing true relaxation in my body, in all of my organs. In my skin. So whatever it is, feel it, think it, and now we'll start to move. And let's come into another clearing breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the mouth. Today we will let the body come to standing. Usually Mondays we kind of stay low to the ground. But that is a really important challenge. If I want to be really relaxed and yet be standing at the same time, that's going to require many things from me. So this time we're going to come to a table posture, and we'll start to sway the hips side to side. And what we can do is maybe pick up a knee and let the hips move over a little bit. So the knee we're moving away from might lift up. And maybe this turns into something else. Maybe the leg extends as we shift, and then we set it down. And just give yourself freedom to move in a way that feels right. Letting the hips perhaps lead. And as you're moving through this, pay attention to the shoulders, the neck, and feel like you can relax them even as you're moving the legs. You might incorporate movement of the head, maybe looking back. Just waking up the legs, waking up the hips, the low back. And then maybe a few more of these movements will start to shift a little bit. So once you reach a table posture, we're going to shift the hips down into a child's posture, Balasana, and release the head down. Pick up the hands and roll the ankle, roll the wrist a few times, roll the hands. Nice circles this way, nice circle the other way. And then release. You might shift into victorious breath. You might just keep the breath consistent and deep without that activity of the throat. Whatever works best for you. I know Ujjayi breath works pretty good for me. About 3 more breaths, paying attention to the rib cage. See if you can really feel the rib cage press out when you inhale. So as you fill, that trunk will press out. That's coming into the rib cage. You could feel it, the rib cage maybe press into the thighs. And then as you exhale, release. Rib cage will draw in. Maybe you feel the tailbone, the hips shift down a little bit as you exhale. And the next inhalation, rise up. We'll come to table. And let's extend, lift the right leg behind, press through the heel. On the next exhale, bring the knee up to the chest and the head down towards the knee. Inhale, lift the leg, lift the head. Exhale, draw the knee in, head down. Now we're going to use this as our base, so it's where we're starting from, but you're going to take off from here. So you might continue this motion, or you might turn this into something else. So just allowing ourselves to free flow today. So maybe setting the foot down and taking that right arm up into modified side plank for a moment, but let the movement keep going. Maybe even coming into a pigeon's posture, so you could go where I'm going, or you could just explore and feel what is right to you. So just coming in for a moment and then coming right back out, and then just allowing some more motion. Something that isn't even, on the radar of, oh, this is a yoga posture. Just let it explore. This might turn into something else, but see if you could just focus specifically on the right leg as you're going through all of this, because then we'll go to the left leg. Now, we're not going to be able to remember all of this as we go through the other side, and that's totally fine. It's just this relaxed activity. It doesn't have to be this way, it doesn't have to be that way. And then we are able to free the mind in a way and have less tension there. There's no question of, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? No question there. It's just free motion. And then when you're ready, go ahead and set the right knee down. Now we start with the base. Before we go there, pay attention to the left leg from hip to toes. Pay attention to the right leg from hip to toes. You'll feel differences there. Be with those sensations. So now we'll start with our base. Let's inhale, lift the left leg behind, press through the heel. And then on the exhale, knee to nose. Take a few more of these. And then allow this movement to kind of take over, right? As if the body is doing something, and you're just kind of going with that. few more breaths. And then just settling down when you're ready. Once you are settled and have the knees down, and pay attention to the hips. Notice how they're feeling. Pay attention to the thighs, the knees, lower legs, the feet. And let's shift now with the upper body, taking the hands forward to come into heart chakra posture, Anahatasana. Forehead comes down, arms are extended, the forearms are lifted to really get the most out of this. So if it's hard to do that, then you can rest the forehead on a block or whatever prop you can use, or maybe even just like lift the head, but we want to be able to relax the neck and feel like the heart on every exhalation can dip down a little closer to the mat. Now, as you're here, you can play around with the shoulder blades, feeling some motion there. So rotating the shoulders out, you can feel the shoulder blades draw in, and then rotating the shoulders inward. So the elbows will face down, and then they'll face out as best as you can. And just allowing for some motion here, releasing any built-up tension in the upper back. And then finding some state of stillness. Just keeping the arms extended, sending the hips up and back, the heart down. And we'll clear the breath in through the nose, clearing all tension. Exhale out through the mouth. Everything that was stuck and in place, we're allowing to move now. So we're rising up to table posture, and we're going to be meeting in a forward fold at the top of the mat. If you'd like to come into downward facing dog first, you can go ahead and roll over the toes, lift the hips. So if you were doing some activities this weekend and you can feel the effects on the body, just notice that, be with it. Maybe you were extra active or less active, or did heavy lifting, whatever it is, pay attention. We're going to step forward and meet in a forward fold at the top of the mat. And maybe you might heel toe the feet apart to the edges of the mat and give yourself a little space, especially if you're experiencing tightness there in the back of the legs. You can bend the knees, let the heart go, maybe letting the heart kind of face that space between the legs as best as you can. Only by letting go, not forcing anything. Give a little movement to the head. So lifting the head, lowering the head. A few more cycles. And let's find a twist here. So we're going to straighten the right leg, keep the left knee bent, and you can maybe plant the palm or bring the left fingertips to the mat, or maybe use a block for the left hand. And we'll inhale, lift the right arm up. And if all of that is too much, you'll have elbow to the left thigh. Now, if you want to get a little bit of a deeper twist, you would take the left hand further to the right and press into the hand. Draw this right shoulder blade into the back. And then exhale, right hand down, switching sides. Left leg straightens up, right knee bends, right hand or fingers down, left arm lifts. Maybe deepening the twist. Exhale, lower the left arm, hang loose. You can clasp opposite elbows with the hands. Maybe shake the head a little bit again, maybe lift and lower. Now, as we did before, on that nice clearing breath, just relax the upper body completely. So the legs have to be somewhat active here without building tension in the legs. Just on the exhale, release. Feel the letting go of the arms and the head. Notice what that does for the rest of the body. And then we'll start to rise by unrolling the spine. So feeling like we can kind of push into the feet a little bit and activate the legs to help rise. Nice and slow, nice and easy. Once you come up, give some motion, some free motion, just like we've done through our practice today. Just allow the body to lead. You could take side bends or little twists. You could do a little dance if you like. You can take circles. Completely loosen the mind. There's no way to do this. There's just the way that you're doing it now. That's the only way. And just expressing the body for maybe 5 more breaths in this position. And then we'll be finding our way to standing, meeting there with the feet, hips distance apart. And we'll bring the hands together and circle the shoulders a few times. So we're going to be balancing, but looking to balance without creating any mental tension whatsoever, because that is one that tends to get people really upset internally and irritated. Why can't I do it? Why can't it be this way? So I want that to not exist in your mind at all, so we can keep this relaxed. And that means that you will just find support close by so that you don't even have to worry about it. So, you know, like, not an option. Just find it. And then if you don't need it, then don't use it. But just in case. Now, you can practice with that support, but please remember to stay completely relaxed so that when it happens, you say to yourself, I don't care. It's okay. It's totally fine. When you come out of the balancing. So we're going to have, so it is an option, but so long as you keep this relaxed. I'm going to keep the feet, hips, distance apart, hands together. So we'll come into tree posture, and for some that's just a breeze, totally easy. So we'll make sure to make it difficult. So when you're ready, come to the left leg and engage that thigh and engage that glute. And then bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. So you could use a chair. Maybe you have a chair close by. You're just going to have your hand close by or on it. Maybe the wall close by. And then we're going to just kind of see where we're at. We can activate the legs without getting concerned in the mind about what's going on. Now if you feel really stable, you could be here all day, then see if there's something you can add to it. Challenging the mind to stay relaxed, though that the body is now in a more challenging state. So maybe the arms reach up. And if you say, this is still too easy, then start to lift the heel. Keep the mind relaxed. Lift the heel. Keep the mind relaxed. If you've already come out of this in some way, it's okay. It doesn't really matter. It's all good. It's really perfect, actually, even as you come out of it. So continue to explore, giving different degrees of intensity. So there's more ways that you can intensify this. If you feel stable, maybe bring the foot to the inside or to the top of the thigh with the knee facing down in like a half lotus. And maybe you experiment from here. Facial muscles totally relaxed. Not caring one way or another if you're balancing or falling. Or catching yourself on the wall. Now we'll just take a couple more breaths before we come out of this. And you can slowly kind of come back in and then slowly release. And just shift weight between the two legs and notice how one leg feels, how the other leg feels. One might feel looser than the other. Okay, so my standing leg is definitely wondering what just happened, and my other leg is thanking me. So now this leg will open up. We created strength there though, didn't we? So go ahead and bring feet together. Feet hips distance apart. Feet hips distance apart. Make sure you've got your support. And then we'll shift the weight over to the right leg. Engage that thigh, engage that glute, and begin to explore while staying in a state of equanimity in the mind. It's okay. Falling, not falling. Finding more challenge. Staying where you are and feeling balanced. Maybe increasing challenge. Keeping the facial muscles relaxed, especially the space between the eyebrows. Keeping the way that the eyes are looking out. The eyes are so relaxed you can just blur your vision. Or maybe not, maybe you're just letting yourself kind of stare off into one thing that isn't moving, and that'll help stabilize you a little bit. You might have fun with all the motion that occurs that the body is trying to do in order to not fall. It's kind of funny to watch. It's really amusing. Just a few more deep breaths. Maybe feeling a sense of delight, whether you were able to stay relaxed mentally or not, just delight in the fact that we can play around here. And then slowly release and let go. Pay attention to the experience in both of the legs. Okay, let's step to the facing the side of the mat so that you can separate the legs from one another. And we're just going to experience the feet here. So you can take hands to hips and roll to the outer edges of the feet. So the soles are going to lift up a little and then plant the feet down. So rolling to the outer edges, and this is going to help kind of stretch the ankle after some of the work we've just done. And then we'll go ahead and bring the arms to a T, keep the feet flat. Let's come into extended triangle posture. Pivot the right toes, so I won't be in a mirror image here. Right toes to face the front of the mat. Left toes can face the side of the mat. Legs stay straight. Reach out with the right arm. Lower down to the right leg. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Now you can look down at the right foot and notice that the face is over the foot. And if it isn't, if it's off to the left, then most likely you need to lift that right hand and slide it up the right leg. So if you can keep the face pretty much over the foot, then you can lower. Then when you're ready, start to turn the head to the left. Start to turn the head upwards. Drop the shoulder blade down the back. Exhale, gaze down at the right foot, and then reverse out of this. Rise, pivot the feet, so we can come into the left side. Left toes face the side of the mat. Left toes face the back of the mat. Right toes face the side. Reach out with the left arm, lower it down. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Look down at the left foot. Make sure we line up the face and the foot, or, the face and the leg, depending on how low you are. Start to look upwards, draw the shoulder blade down the back. Look down at the left foot. Inhale, rise up. Pivot the toes to face the side of the mat. Let's take the arms up and cross elbows in front of each other, one in front of the other. Wrap the arms around each other. Maybe find the palms together. So if you're more open in the chest, and depending on how much muscle mass you're working with, more open in the shoulders, then this might be possible. If it's not, this might be working. If that's not, maybe one of these. Okay? And just note which elbow is closer to the chest. Then let's bend the knees and start to fold here. Now take a big inhalation, and on the exhale, deflate like we did earlier. Keep the arms intertwined. You can bend the knees. And again, deep breath in. Totally relaxing as much as you can in this position. Now we're going to Keep the knees bent and unroll the spine to rise upwards. Then once the head rises, take the arms up and then cross the elbows in the opposite order. Find your bind, whatever that is for your body. Bend the knees. Deep breath in on the way down. And then exhale, deflate completely and let go. Now we're going to start to unroll the spine, rising up. Once you rise, untwine the arms, reach them up. Take the hands behind, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulders back, look upwards. Exhale, fold forward. Clearing breath. Totally deflating. Release the arms down. Let's find a twist here like we did earlier, but now the feet are more separated. Left palm down, right under the heart center. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Now see if you want to increase or decrease intensity. So if you need to like bend a leg or feel like bending a leg would feel right, if you bend the right leg, you're going to get a deeper stretch in that left leg, the inner thigh. Maybe lift the toes. Maybe prop up with 2 fingers, the peace fingers, and strengthen those fingers. Just give yourself a chance to explore the body, a chance. We're going to switch sides. Another breath or so. And we'll be coming out of this, and what we'll do is walk to the front of the mat, plant the palms, and then let's bring the right shin down and slide the left leg back, coming into a pigeon's posture. So give some movement here. So move your head to the right as you shift the hips to the left. Take your hips to the right as you shift the head to the left. Just give yourself some motion, and then when you're ready, begin to lower, and we're going to take 5 very effective breaths. So they might be clearing breaths or just nice Ujjayi breath, but the focus is on the exhalation so that no tension is existing. As best as we can, especially particularly in the mind. Clearly in the body there's going to be some pull, some expansion, contraction, but not tension. So inhaling, sinking, letting the body sink. Inhaling, sinking. Exaggerate it if you need to. Inhale. Now we'll start to come out, and we're going to switch sides. Little swaying motion first, and moving the head in the opposite direction of the hips. situating the body by lowering the trunk. And then we're going to take those 5 clearing breaths, focusing on that release on the exhalation. Inhaling. Sinking. Okay, we'll start to rise. And then we'll come to seated with the ankles crossed. Just to roll the head a little bit and help the neck release. Circle the shoulders first, settle them down. Drop the chin, circle the head. We'll go 4 times total, 2 and 2. Releasing and then lowering. Now just to give the back of the legs a little attention before we rest, I'm going to pick up the right leg and hold the right leg with the hands. You can keep the left leg bent or you can straighten it. Circle this right foot. Make sure to go the other way as well. And then we'll be flexing this foot, pointing the foot, flexing the foot, and then eventually flex the foot and find 3 deep breaths, maybe those same exhalations that we are allowing, letting go, that it's okay. This leg is going to stretch to some degree. We can't control how much. And release this leg, switch sides. We can really only control a very small degree, and we have to be able to recognize that, so that way we're just okay. It's okay. It's all I can get right now. It's all I got. We're going to circle. Flex and point a few times. And then flexing and finding those 3 breaths, intentionally allowing for no tension to be surfacing, to not even start building. Just, it's okay. In fact, it feels quite wonderful. And the mind is so open and gently accepting everything that's occurring. And then we'll release this left leg. We can take a little bit of a spinal twist, taking knees to one side together. Turn the head in the opposite direction. Nice letting go breath. Take the knees to the other side, the head to the other direction. And now we're going to tuck ourselves in. So maybe you're going to come right into Shavasana. Maybe, you ever see a baby like with their arms just out like this, sleeping like this. Maybe you want to go into that, just total open position. Or if there's something else that feels good, go into it. And then just continue with a gentle breath, gentle, effortless breath to sink. Let the body sink. Sinking. Relaxing. Not in control of any activity of the body. No control in the body's activity. Resting. Without moving anything. At this time, imagine that now you are feeling lighter and lighter. Even lighter and lighter. So light, like a feather at this point now. And just allowing that lightness to lift you up. Maybe even imagining a gust of wind, a soft breeze kind of blowing underneath you, over you, through you, and floating around, allowing the wind to move you. Feeling that freedom and that movement. It's flowing with every change of direction of that breeze, every stronger gust, soft whisper. Watch the wind settle and feel this lightness shift side to side, just like a feather which no longer has wind underneath it, just starts to shift side to side as it slowly lowers to the ground and returns and begin to return. Coming back into the body, deepening the breath. And waking up again after a really nice free moving practice, and just allowing yourself to wake up very sweetly, some movement. When you're ready, find your way to seated. in this very relaxed state, we're going to come into our intention for this week. And so, in that state, it's going to be easier for us. We could just step right into it. It's going to be apparent, it's going to be obvious what it is that this week is going to be for you. So for me this week, I'm allowing all my creative projects to appear. I'm allowing them to form. I'm giving them space. Whatever your intention for this week is, begin to absorb it. And it's all right if it doesn't work out exactly as you think. It's working out in the way that it's supposed to. So just breathing in all of that. And then we'll seal our practice with the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste. Thank you for being here. Thank you for practicing with me. If you ever find that after class you're sleepy and you're tired and suddenly you just want to go to sleep and not go back to work, it's most likely it's just because, one, maybe you're not actually getting enough sleep, or two, you're not accustomed to being in such a relaxed state that is also in a state that you're awake at the same time. So that's just a matter of practice. It's a matter of just learning that the mind can be so relaxed and you can still function actually probably better than if you weren't this relaxed. So that's what that is. And if you say, well, physiologically, what do I do? I have to go back to work. I would suggest going upside down after class. So when you're done or before Shavasana, you can maybe go upside down on a wall. You can do a supported handstand or headstand, or what we've done like in a dolphin where you're preparing for a headstand and you get your crown of the head down. But anyways, I mean, that's one way to do it. And that'll get some blood flowing to your brain and wake you up. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I might go to Lake Michigan today. I'm really, really looking forward to that. I haven't been there all this year, and I didn't spend enough time there last year. So we'll see. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Maybe a wonderful week if I don't see you. Take care.